A popular ex-WWE star is in talks with AEW. Elsewhere, Matt Hardy has confirmed that his AEW contract is expiring this month. And we have an update regarding John Cena and WrestleMania 40. It's all in the wrestling news. Hello everybody, Jack and Ross here with the Monday Morning Wrestling News. According to reports by Fightful Select, AEW have been in talks with an ex-WWE superstar, but one only recently released in recent times, Ross. Who is it?
Shelton Benjamin. Apparently the two sides have had recent conversations about Benjamin potentially appearing for AEW. It's unknown if this will be for a contract or a full-time deal, but both sides have reportedly had contact about Benjamin making possible AEW appearances approximately a month ago.
Yeah, there was said to be people in AEW as well really pushing for Benjamin to come in last year, where there were rumours about his WWE contract nearly being up. Then he was released obviously by WWE in September last year, along with multiple other superstars, and his no-compete clause ended in December, but we haven't seen him since. But now we could. Do you think it would be a good idea?
Oh, very good idea. You can't have enough experience in the locker room, can you? I don't want to turn this into a football news video, but Roy Keane always says you're only as good as your experienced pros.
Yes.
Or was it Graham Souness used to say that?
I can't remember. You'll never win anything with kids, though.
Exactly.
Handsome, yeah.
Shelton Benjamin, 20 years on television, can still go. By all accounts, he's a big man. I mean, what's not to love?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea as well. I don't know whether he'd be... I was just assuming there, but I don't know for a fact that he'd be signed into some sort of dual role where he'd do a bit of coaching on the side or something like that.
Yeah. That's the thing with AEW. They're getting people in like your Ospreys and your Okadas who haven't had too much like North American weekly television exposure.
Okay.
I saw some discourse on X.com over the weekend about Ospreay missing his cues or something like that. I didn't know what was going on, but you know, these people seem to understand what they were talking about.
Tell you who else missed their cues, Dwayne. He missed his, and he's got plenty of experience.
Dwayne doesn't care about his cues, does he? He just does what he wants. But
Arrogance.
Having someone like Shelton who's been there and done that and just to pass that on. And again, we're looking at like Adam Copeland in the TNT title scene, obviously Christian Cage as well. Get him involved in that sort of thing because he can still wrestle by what we saw, towards the end of his the few matches he had towards the end of his WWE stint.
Yes, I would agree as well. Someone who might be coming towards the end of their stint, but in AEW, is Matt Hardy, as I mentioned at the start of the video. It was revealed in a report earlier this week that Matt's contract in AEW was expiring this month, which is something that he himself has now confirmed, but not without some confusion regarding how the information got out there. He talked a bit more about this on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast.
That was all news to me, he said, but it is what it is, I guess. As far as that goes with my contract, people had asked about my contract coming up. Obviously, I've got responses. After that news broke earlier today, and it didn't come from me because no one had known anything about it. So once again, Sean Ross said, breaking news, right? Yes, it's coming up in March, and we spoke about it, and we've talked about it, and I guess we'll see what happens.
So someone has leaked it, though. He can't... I don't understand what he means.
This is... It's a problem with AEW. We're looking at the WWE surprises recently. It's been little... Like Sean Spears, I guess, is the most recent one.
I get what he's saying now.
Yeah, there's a leak in the locker room. He doesn't know who it is.
And I think he might... Is he even saying there... I haven't told anyone.
Yeah.
So someone on the other side, Tony Khan's told someone that my contract's coming up, and then that's been leaked. I don't know.
Do you reckon this is just a disgruntled veteran causing a fuss on the way out?
Potentially, but at the same time, if that's the case, then I'd be annoyed as well, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say that just like the stuff with Hangman Page recently and Jerry Lynn getting annoyed on Twitter, I think as we all were when we realised, it's a storyline, we were going to have a cliffhanger ending that was taken away by the reports and whatnot, which I know is ironic when we're sitting here doing this kind of video.
I'm not blaming the people who reported it, but it must be frustrating for the other wrestlers.
Wrestlers.
Yes, absolutely. Elsewhere, do you like naked men?
I love naked men.
Have you seen?
I've seen the behind the scenes pictures,
it doesn't work.
How is it attached in the front area? Is it just double-sided sticky tape, or is there Velcro, Jack?
I don't know.
Attaching the little pouch to the pubes.
We are, of course, referring to John Cena, who, I mean, we wouldn't have seen it live because it's in America, but it's been all over the social media this morning. John Cena presenting an Oscar naked on stage, or so it seemed.
Because it was for like best costume or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the irony is he was naked. He was one wearing.
Can I just say, I watched Ricky Stenicki over the weekend.
Oh yes, have you?
Good film.
Is it?
Very good film. Had low expectations going in there. It's about three lads, right, who are friends with their kids, and then they make up this Ricky Stenicki character to get out of a house like fire they caused.
I don't want to hang out with my wife, isn't it? Also, doesn't it become to get out of hanging out with their wives?
They've created a Bible about this made-up man called Ricky Stenicki that they've used all the way through the lives, and then the wives are like, well, let's meet him. And so they get John Cena, who plays he plays a rock parody artist, but he takes like songs from Billy Idol, Bon Jovi, all that sort of stuff, and makes them all about masturbation. That's what he is in the film. And he's also a It's honestly my film of the year so far. Iron Claw, a close second. Ricky Stenicki, number one.
Oh, it's a big fall. Well, not a fall. A big change of pace for Zac Efron. Because he's in it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like the lead, one of the trio of friends.
And is this why John's... We'll get onto the news in a second. Is this why John's been doing all the like OnlyFans stuff?
I think
Twitter?
so, yeah.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Very lewd.
Very method acting as well. Anyway, we have an update on John Cena. DC Studios CEO and Peacemaker creator James Gunn has provided an update on Peacemaker's production schedule, confirming that season 2 will start filming in the summer. John Cena is the star of Peacemaker. He plays Peacemaker.
With the gloves. They've got big Undertaker gloves on it from the 90s.
And the dance and the helmet. Not that well, that was the Oscar. And that might see him open for a WrestleMania appearance. He shared a screenshot on Instagram of his wife and Peacemaker star Jennifer Holland's comment about the filming schedule, and Gunn said, "The source is kind of iffy, but this is true." To answer your follow-up questions, yes, we'll be shooting Superman and Peacemaker simultaneously. So what, right, so this means... Because it's filming later in the year than WrestleMania.
I guess John Cena doesn't have much else scheduled for the first half of the year. So everyone's like, when's Peacemaker going to be filmed?
Right.
And he's gone, it's going to be the summer. And because WrestleMania happens in April, that's not quite the summer.
It does, to be fair, it does say in our notes that it is important to note that Cena might be filming other things ahead of the summer.
Yeah.
All that's been confirmed is that he will not be filming for Peacemaker during WrestleMania season, as was previously rumoured. It has been speculated as well, I missed this bit, sorry, that Cena will have a non-physical role at WrestleMania, because you can't be getting injured and then trying to do all the stunts and the acting.
Absolutely not. I mean, the mind then goes to what will John Cena do at WrestleMania that's not quite as physical as a full match. I guess a run-in maybe in the main event to stave off the bloodline.
Yeah, he could do what we saw at WrestleMania 32, where he came out to save The Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he'll do that in this one.
He'd go against the Rock, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Oh, imagine John Cena in the Bloodline. Oh.
Unless he comes down in his Peacemaker like get up. I know nothing about the Peacemaker apart from the gloves.
Fraser's a big fan.
And the fact it's called Peacemaker. Maybe he just say, Roman, Cody, let's come together, shake hands and leave as friends.
You not heard the theme tune?
Nah. Probably if I might recognise it.
I don't know. I think it's maybe predominantly famous for being the Peacemaker theme tune.
Oh.
But it's a power rock ballad.
Give us a little hum.
Do you really want to? Do you really want to? Okay.
Oh, I'm not recognising that one.
No, and then they all do a dance, really straight-faced. It's very bizarre. I know, strange one. Unfortunately, we do have to finish it on sad news, as Yutaka Yoshie has sadly passed away at the age of 50. He took part in well, that's the very tragic thing as well, is that he only took part in an All Japan Wrestling show on Sunday in Takasaki. After he returned to the backstage area after his match, his condition is said to have suddenly deteriorated and he was rushed to a hospital. His family later notified All Japan that he had sadly passed away. All Japan notified the fans, and the fans in attendance, Ross, as well, were saying that apparently there was no obvious signs of nothing happened in the match that would potentially have caused like a really serious injury to him or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a quote there from Yahoo Sports. Apparently, just when he got backstage, he collapsed and that was it, which is just obviously horrible to read about. And thoughts are with his friends and family, all that sort of stuff. And it's a bummer to end the news video.
It's a real shame. He did have a great legacy though to look back on, because he was a tag champion in All Japan alongside Akebono and a tag champion in New Japan alongside Hiroshi Tanahashi. So he's had a good career that everybody can look back on. But it's obviously very sad news indeed.
I did read he was going to celebrate his 30 years of wrestling in December, I think it was. He was planning like a tribute show, which is obviously 50's no age to go, but obviously in the 30th year of his career as well. Yeah. Massive shame.
Absolutely. We will be back later on with more wrestling news, so do stay tuned and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I've been Jack, this has been Ross, and we'll see you soon.